Friday of the 10th week in Ordinary Time, June 10th, 2022. Reflection. We continually struggle to find God in our experiences. We find it difficult to understand the presence of God in our ordinary human experience, to the point that sometimes we think God is absent, or there is no God at all. We are looking for a God who can satisfy the longings of our hearts, who can soothe the pain of our hurts. We want a God of our own terms. In our first reading today, the prophet Elijah is in Mount Horeb and was called upon by God. He was told, "Go outside and stand on the mountain before the Lord. The Lord will be passing by." A strong and heavy wind was rending the mountains and crushing rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake there was fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire there was a tiny whispering sound. When he heard this, Elijah hid his face in his cloak and went and stood at the entrance of the cave. This story is much like ours. Human as we are, we look for God in the many shocking events of life, but the difference is that we don't find him in the silent and tiny voice within us. We want God to reveal himself in the most amazing way, but we don't find time to wonder at the amazing beauty of life that grows in silence. Elijah was attuned to the presence of God in silence and stillness. God's presence is perceived more in the stillness of our hearts, in the silence of our minds, and in the beauty of creation that communicates life. God is the God of silence that directly penetrates our noisy and loud lives, and sets us free to be able to open ourselves to him and to others. When Jesus speaks of relationship with God and neighbor, he ushers us to be more attentive to the silence of love that destroys selfishness. His silence on the cross broke the bond of sin. He spoke only of love, mercy, and tenderness while on the cross, but silent to the mocking of the crowds. When love is silent, it is breaking our selfishness and sin. When love speaks, it heals and mending relationships. Would you care to listen to the still small voice within?